Okay, everybody. Hello. Good morning. My name's Adrian, representing StayPrivate on behalf of Zest. Thank you very much for your time. We're going to go straight through to a simple presentation for you about StayPrivate, what it is, what it does, how it works for you and your customers. And Rob will talk to you about how much money it's going to make you all. So bear with me, please. I'll just go straight to my first slide. And any errors are, of course, my own. So please forgive me in advance if I make any cock-ups. So, what is StayPrivate? Also, why StayPrivate? I was just earlier looking at hacks. I googled on BBC News data hacks, and in the last week we've had Twitch, 100 gigabytes, 10 million users. Recently, McDonald's, T-Mobile, 40 million user accounts hacked. So, this is an enormous piece of news and obviously concern for all our customers. Why StayPrivate as a solution? Well, business-to-personal email is the main source of security vulnerability. Over 90% of cyber attacks on businesses begin with an attack on an email, and 80% involve personal email accounts, either on a private PC or on a corporate domain. So StayPrivate is a GDPR compliance service. So when you write to a personal or send an email piece of information to a personal email address, it's outside of the GDPR compliance that your normal security procedures and policies might have. And StayPrivate gives you, the user and the customer, that's a guarantee that it's GDPR compliant. And of course, so business to personal email is not GDPR compliant. It's a bigger problem in that less and less is being done by post, as we all know. And the sort of underlying reason why this is still a problem is that the problem is caused by the fact that the business model of the major providers of free personal email, it's in opposition to providing a secure service. They make money by data mining and sending advertising, which is personalized through that data mining. So that it's not in their interest to solve this problem. So big tech is actually the cause of a lot of this underlying problem. By the way, questions at the end, please, and forgive me as I let people into the webinar. So what is StayPrivate? StayPrivate's an enterprise-grade secure email delivery service. It protects business emails sent to and from personal email accounts. So your email that goes from a secure business environment to a secure business environment is covered and is secure and is GDPR compliant, but emails that go from a business to personal email accounts aren't, and that's where there's this gap in security, as I said earlier. All the information that you send via StayPrivate is GDPR compliant and remains GDPR compliant. StayPrivate, it prevents phishing and malware attacks, and we'll come back to that a bit later. I think most importantly, what is StayPrivate? StayPrivate's a service that allows the owner, the user of the service, your customers, to demonstrate that they take their duty of care, that they take customer care, they take customer confidentiality and customer privacy seriously. And, the truth of the matter is, as a business that's trading and started a few years ago in the UK, we've got thousands of businesses using the service, and we don't sell direct anymore. We only sell through distributors like Zest. We've got a fantastic customer base. If you know anything about mobile, BlackBerry, and they're still around, it's fantastic and fabled for its security. And we have fantastic clients that are using it, Savills, BlackBerry, encryption services, and private equity houses use our technology. So it works. Forgive me, I'm just letting someone else in. Next question. Why do your customers, why do businesses need StayPrivate? Next slide, rather. So do they or would they like to use email to do any of the following? So I don't want to read out these points because it gets a bit dull, someone talking to you, and you can't even see them. And in my case, you're lucky, you obviously can't see me. But the simple truth is anything that's sensitive that's sent to a personal email account is at risk unless you've got a service like StayPrivate in place. So anything involving bank details, password resets, sales, quotes, invoices, purchase emails, payroll slips, timesheets, anything, for example, from a residential letting agent, yes, any KYC or onboarding, any information that you might be requested to ask customers, potential customers are asked to provide copies of utility bills or passports. Any of that, fun information that's very private and very secure is insecure if it's not governed and sent within a service like StayPrivate. So basically, why businesses need it? If they're doing any of the common things that they're currently doing right now, they need a service like StayPrivate. Okay, this is for you partners. And one of the reasons I got interested and involved in the company after being an MSP for many years, some of you will know, and competing against other MSPs, bigger and smaller, I was always looking for things that customers appreciated, could understand, and were good value, and I could manage very easily, cheaply, and that gave me stable, recurring income. As a business owner, that's, of course, what we want. And one of the reasons we've gone channel only is because we've designed the product to work through distributors and work with you MSPs to deliver a great service to end users and something that gives you those stable recurring incomes. So the key point is it's a great customer proposition. It ticks a box for them, and it's low cost, and it's very high value. It protects them, it protects their customers, and it shows that they care. It's fantastic recurring revenue for you. It fits beautifully into any regular orthodox desk-based or face-to-face account management or road mapping process that you have with your customers. And we'll come to that in a second. It's very easy to deploy, okay? And there are absolutely, hello, there's a lot of latecomers. Hello, everybody. Excuse me, I'm just letting people in. It's very easy to deploy, as I said, and there's vis-a-vis your existing product, it doesn't cannibalize or reduce your existing sales of Barracuda, for example, Webroot, Sophos, any of the existing product sets that you might be selling. It complements your existing product stack. In respect, also, I mean, let's be frank about it, it's a great door opener as well. You've got something that's really low value, really useful in terms of brand enhancement, customer protection, and cybersecurity. It's a great door opener into a space that a lot of people are not very comfortable talking about. And it also allows you to stand out from the competition. And we also provide, with the service, a co-branded option for you. So your name is carried on every email. And I remember when I started selling Sophos and Mimecast and these other services a long time ago, in my own businesses, I was always annoyed that they got the branding on every email, and every email I seemed to get from my accountants or any of my customers carried someone else's logo. And I've always thought that that's a big no-no, but StayPrivate carries the Gdpr Compliance, so our name's on the branding, but we put an option there for you to put your name and brand on every notification saying that it's been provided, this email service has been provided by ABC Reseller. And that's a great thing, I think. It gives you brand visibility on every single one of your clients' emails in the disclaimer, and that's what you want. How do you sell this service? Well, I don't want to teach anyone to suck eggs. The key thing is to start using it yourselves. As I say, it's low cost. Zest use it themselves. You can use it very simply on your service desk for password resets across the board, and allow it to become part of that regular conversation when you talk to customers. So if you use it, you will sell it more effectively. And you can either use your knowledge of your accounts to sell it in face-to-face or your road mapping and account review process, and also by asking those questions earlier. Are you getting any sensitive or confidential information from a personal email account? Do you just want to tick a box and have all of your emails that go to any personal email account carried by StayPrivate? You can ask these simple questions, and that will allow you to generate the sales. And you can obviously talk about the most important elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about in the many years that we've been talking about and worried about GDPR. GDPR compliance is real. It's an area that a lot of us have spent money on and sell services into clients with, but GDPR compliance, forgive me, it's an opportunity. A lot of small companies don't know that they have a liability, and they don't know that the ICO requires all companies to have a data officer. So you can talk about that, and You're not supposed to use a personal email account or write to a personal email account if you're requesting or sending anything sensitive. But you can, of course, if you use StayPrivate. I think lastly on this point, how do you set it? You can talk about phishing attacks and best practice. Malware and phishing attacks nearly always all start through email. And as we said earlier, 8 out of 10 of those attacks occur when someone's opening a personal email account, either on a PC or on a networked corporate environment, opening their personal email. Those are just facts, and that's where we can step in and prevent those security breaches. Robert?
Thanks, Adrian. I'm just going to talk quickly about commercials. When we look at products in Zest4, we're always looking at how simple and easy they are to get out to your customers. Like Adrian said, we decided to use StayPrivate over the pandemic because the amount of kind of attempted hacks, we've got a lot of security in Zest4, but we felt like we needed something in addition to what we've got internally. So we put it in. It was really, really simple to deploy, cost effective. Effectively, there's just 3 licenses for you to use, and these will be, a lot of our emails are obviously business to business, so it's not as prominent, but your customers will have a lot of emails going to personal email addresses, etc. So it should be really, really effective in order to kind of get this product into your product portfolio, and quite easy to sell. And as stated there, there's kind of 3 licenses. So there's 100 recipients for £10 a month. These are RRPs, by the way. And it gives you an example for businesses that these licenses would generally take. These are the 500 recipients at £40 a month, and then the unlimited one at £90 a month. So it doesn't have to be deployed across the whole business. We deployed it across our finance team. Any commercially sensitive information that's going out and things like that, it was just easy to deploy across that department and works really well. Effectively, it's quite margin rich. Obviously, if you're a wholesale partner, we'll reduce that to a cost plus model, so you can sell it at whatever you want above that. If you go to the next slide, Adrian, it just gives you a kind of an example of kind of what margin you can earn on these. So if you sell the recipient package, the 100 one at £10 a month across 30 sales a month, effectively your annual TCV on that is 43,200, and your profit on that is 21,600, and then obviously it goes up from there. So you can see it's quite margin rich. It's really, really easy to deploy. I'm sure there'll be some questions on that for Adrian, but that's it really. Really, really simple, really effective. And what we're going to do is we're going to create some marketing EDMs that are white labeled. You'll just be able to drop your logo in there. You can simply add it to your product portfolio and then send it out to your customers. And I would imagine you'll get quite a lot of uptake in this. I mean, during the pandemic, it's just ridiculous how many hacks that businesses are getting on a daily, weekly basis. So this should be, if I take, for example, Wandera that we sell from a mobile security perspective, the amount of interest and uptake that's had over the pandemic has been huge. So I expect this to be of a similar effect as well.